So the wait is finally over. We have finally gotten a look at some new gameplay, or I guess kind of an in-game intro sequence for Fallout 76. Right off the bat, I know a lot of you guys might be a little bit disappointed with this. It's probably not what you were expecting. I would also like to pat myself on the back for kind of correctly predicting this yesterday. But either way, the video you're actually seeing is more or less going to be the intro sequence for this game, kind of similar to what you had in Fallout 4 that looked like this. And although that's particularly cool, I'll probably leave it playing in the background. That's not really the focus of this video. Along with this, we actually got a massive information dump for all kinds of new info for Fallout 76. Most of it is new beta information and really just how that's exactly going to work, which is not as straightforward as you'd think, so I would definitely watch for that part. Before we get into that, I want to address some questions I already see popping up. People are probably looking at this thing in the background and being like, hey, this isn't the gameplay I was expecting or hoping for. What people really want is unedited and just raw gameplay of this game to get to see it in action. Well, on this, P.E.T.A actually tweeted something out. He said, I know a lot of folks are asking about gameplay. Well, I can confirm we are doing an event soon. That is the event I am going to. I made a video about this a few days ago, and we are going to let a lot of people capture a few hours of gameplay doing whatever they want to do. So before long, you'll have hundreds of hours of gameplay to watch. So yeah, it seems like rather than taking the approach of Bethesda showing you the gameplay through trailers or edited clips as they kind of did at E3, this time around you're going to get a massive dump from all the different YouTubers, influencers, and news outlets that do attend this event. Now, to put some of you at ease, I know some people are looking at Twitter. There's even Reddit posts saying, oh, maybe this gameplay is going to go up on Friday. People are flying to the US. So P.E.T.A actually said something a little while ago in an interview, and I'd just like to highlight that at this point.
I mean, we're testing now. There's tests next week. We're going to be bringing in folks from outside the company in waves.
And even beyond that, I would like to pose the question, what makes more sense? Do you think everyone's going to post the gameplay as soon as they get to play the game? Or maybe is there like a kind of predefined or set date when everyone will post their gameplay all at once so people have time to edit it and kind of refine their opinions? Either way, jumping into the new beta information, first and foremost, the beta is going to start on October 23rd, this being a very famous date in the Fallout universe, that being the one when the bombs dropped. October 23rd is the start date for Xbox One. October 30th is the start date for PC and PS4. Xbox users are seemingly getting a week-long timed exclusivity with this, but another caveat with this beta, it's not actually going to be 24/7. So Bethesda has a pretty detailed write-up on this in their FAQ. I'll have it linked down below, but more or less it seems like the beta itself is actually going to run from 4 to 8 hours each day that it's active. They mentioned that ahead of time they're actually going to alert us as to which hours it will be open, but it will only be open for at most 8 hours, or at least that's the way I'm interpreting this. But also at minimum 4 hours. They're doing this so they can let people play a bunch of stuff, maybe break some things, and then spend the rest of the time in that day fixing those things. I could already see people angrily commenting down below, but before you do that, listen to this part. They also say, and this is the exact quote, then we'll fix what we need to fix and do it again and again from the start of the beta until a few days before launch. So they don't explicitly say when this is going to end, even under the little section in the FAQ when they talk about the beta length. This is the only thing that really indicates the length as to how long the beta will last. In a past interview, P.E.T.A said a week or so, but this seems to indicate it might be a little bit longer than that. Fallout 76 comes out on a Wednesday, that being November 14th, so the beta could hypothetically run up until November 10th, which would make it quite long, even though it has these rather odd kind of intermittent time frames as to when you could play. I'll keep it to the facts for now, but at the end of this, I'll give my opinions on this. They also mentioned that the pre-betas have begun, and right now there are people under NDA, so they can't talk about it, that are playing Fallout 76's beta. Now, as a warning, with this news coming out, people are going to create fake leaks. This is just how the internet works, so be wary if you see a leak of Fallout 76 information, somebody claiming to be in this. It is likely fake, but maybe it's real. The way you get into these is basically you just have to have pre-ordered the game and then you'll be randomly selected. Right now, it's my understanding that I don't think any regular users are in this necessary. That's speculation. But from the rumor mill, I've heard that maybe if you were a large media company, you may have had an invite already. But for me personally, I haven't gotten access to the beta just yet. The beta itself is going to be a 45GB download, that for PC, Xbox One, and PS4. So this part, I don't know exactly what it means. They say currently the beta will not be available for preload. Does that mean it will never be available or just not available right now? I don't really know. I know 45GB is pretty large, and for some people with slower internet connections, that could take over a day to download. Another interesting tidbit from this is they actually say in this, we will be showcasing more of the game in the next few weeks, including tips for multiplayer, wasteland survival, character builds, and customization, and more. Plus gameplay, lots and lots of gameplay. Keep an eye on the Fallout website and social channels for news and updates about Fallout 76. So I'm not entirely sure what to make of this. Obviously earlier P.E.T.A said that most of the gameplay is seemingly coming from YouTubers, but maybe he just meant that would be like a big dump of gameplay and there's other gameplay from Bethesda still on the way. Or maybe they mean they'll release more of those You Will Emerge trailers. I really don't know what this means. And even beyond that, another interesting thing, just interesting in the way it's worded, it's a question. It says, I saw footage of players earning atoms while playing. What are atoms? Either way, atoms are basically going to be the currency used for microtransactions in Fallout 76. Basically, you're going to be able to earn them by gameplay challenges and achievements, and then from there you could actually buy in-game cosmetics. But after the game does launch, these are going to be purchasable with real money. This is the only details we have on this as of yet. You can't actually get achievements or trophies during this beta, and the PC requirements have not yet been posted. I know a lot of people are really curious about that. So all in all, there's a lot of new information here. It's all particularly interesting, but for my opinions on this very interesting and different approach as to the beta length, I actually personally like it. And I know some people might at first glance be like, no, I hate that. And I might be a little bit biased on this because it gives me the opportunity to play the beta for 4 to 8 hours, actually get a bunch of raw gameplay, and then I still have time to actually make some videos on that. I'm not missing beta time or anything. And like 4 hours is a really long time. I know there might be some scheduling conflicts, which is the part of this that will kind of suck. So if you have work or school or a big test coming up or something, then you can't necessarily play whenever you have time. You have to go on their time. But if you're an Xbox user and this actually does go up to a few days before the launch of the game, you could have this beta for 3 weeks or so. That's a pretty big deal, and I honestly think I would rather have this longer length beta with shorter periods of time when I could play than just maybe a week of 24 hours each day, because realistically, I'm not going to get to take complete advantage of that. I'm not going to be able to play for 24 hours, even though maybe some of you can. Another question I'm going to have though is, as far as time zones go, there's a lot of different time zones, even in the US. There's a 3-hour gap between the East Coast and West Coast, and being able to accommodate that with this beta timing could be fairly difficult or frustrating for some. Either way, it's pretty much going to wrap it up for this video. I'm going to take a closer look at this other trailer, see if it's worth breaking down, but otherwise it seemed like it was cool to look at, but there wasn't a ton of information to garner out of it. As always, again, I thank you all for watching. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video, and I hope to see you all next time. Later.